Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tokenpost interview. Today we have invited Sing Foong from Bainense, head of Apac. Yeah. Hello, sir.
Hi there.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome. So there's such a lot of questions, but we have such a short time, right? Just I'll go ahead first.
Sure.
The first question is that please introduce yourself and Bainense Apac briefly.
Sure. So, my name's Leon.
Okay.
I've been in the blockchain space with Binance since January. But even though it's only been, slightly over 10 months, it feels like a long time because there's just so much happening in the crypto world. Right. And a bit about myself is I've always been interested in technology and high growth businesses. So formerly, I used to work in mobility businesses such as Uber and SoCal.
Okay, thank you, sir. So prior to the Binance, you were known as a pioneer in the P2P car sharing industry, right? So you were the founding CEO of SoCar Malaysia, and before that, you worked as a general manager of Uber Malaysia and Thailand also. Right? What was the main reason to turn your career path into the cryptocurrency industry, and why was it Binance?
First of all, I like transformative technologies. I think the two companies that you mentioned earlier in mobility really transform the way people move. And I think blockchain has the potential to do the same in terms of transforming the way people transfer money, the way people exchange value, the way people fundraise for projects. Right? And the other thing about blockchain that really attracts me is the fact that it's so innovative and the technology is constantly growing. And why Binance? It's because I think Binance has a very, very strong mission. Right? I think I'm attracted to companies that have a strong mission and vision. And I think CZ's and Binance's commitment to really optimizing for user happiness, right, and being customer focused is part of the reason why I'm here right now.
Okay, so you got such a big impress from CZ, their history, man.
His vision and the company's progress and actions. I think actions speak louder than words. And I think if you look at Binance, it's really widely known that we are really focused on protecting users. Right? We were one of the first exchanges to do airdrop tokens directly shared with users. And not many people know this, but when actually Binance first did its ICO, right? After that, there was an incident in China, which meant that a lot of the ICO tokens actually fell to zero in value. When that happened, the founders actually made an active decision to take a large part of our own treasury funds to actually give money back to the users who invested in projects that was affected by the announcements.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's move on to the BNB chain platform.
Yes.
Yeah. BNB chain developed by Binance is growing fast. So your support for many projects is boosting the BNB ecosystem. What are the criteria for selecting projects in the growth incentive program? And what value do you focus on when you select projects?
I think we like projects that ultimately align with our core value. So just to be clear, BNB is a decentralized blockchain layer that allows developers and projects to build on top of it. Right? And BNB coin is the token that supports the BNB chain layer, the ecosystem. And one thing that we look for in projects is obviously the quality of the founders and builders. Are they committed to users, and are they committed to the long term? Right? By committed to long term, there are a few giveaways when you look at their plans, you look at their white papers, vesting schedules, what triggers founders exit, centralization, tokenomics, reward incentives, what percentage tokens are reserved for the community. These are all some of the key variables that we look at. But being user-focused and community-driven is part of what we really like.
Okay, cool. So another question, I have full question on regulation. Recently, Binance got approvals from many governments around the world. What do you think about that possible? About that, getting approval from many?
Yeah, I think what made that possible is an internal commitment to improving our risk control measures and our commitment to KYC and anti-money laundering processes. Right? This is an ongoing journey. Right? We're nowhere near the end yet, but we want to constantly improve. And by improve, we need to invest in technology, we need to invest in processes, and we need to invest in people. So over the past few years, we've hired top-in-class industry people who used to work at IRS, used to work at Europol, used to work at the Department of Justice, to really come together to help us build out the best internal compliance team there is. And we're constantly improving. Right? We're nowhere near the end goal where we want to be, but part of the goal starts with number one, right? Investing in internal processes, investing in technologies, and having open dialogue with key regulators.
Okay, cool. With additional question, Binance made an MOU with the Busan City. And what's the main purpose for that MOU, and what will you expect from this cooperation?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, is we believe that blockchain adoption needs to happen now. As part of blockchain adoptions, we need to support cities such as Busan Metropolitan City, cities that have ambition to really grow the ecosystem together with us. All right, as step one of that ambition, we've actually remained committed to investing in education and really amplifying our Binance Academy program. So as of today, we actually launched our MOU together with Busan University, Dongwon University, including Dongseo University. Yes, right? And the step one of that is building curriculum using the content that Binance Academy has developed over the years, right? And we want to create curriculum targeted at all levels. So beginners, 101, intermediate, and even more advanced courses. For example, we talk about the BNB chain, right? We know certain universities here do teach university students or graduate students on how to build on other layer one blockchains. We want to leverage our expertise to really encourage people to learn how to build on the BNB chain.
Okay, so let's move on next question. This year, we see the crypto market like crash down. Did the crypto winter affect the Binance business plan? And is Binance experiencing any slowdown like many others?
So I think before answering this question, we need to look at where the crypto market is today. As I mentioned earlier, 2 years ago, around this time, crypto's market cap was only around $400 billion. Last year, at its peak, you're right, it was about 2.7 trillion. But even today, it stands at just over $1 trillion. So if we look at today compared to 2 years ago, we're 2.5x of where the industry used to be 2 years ago. Right? That's 24 months.
2 years ago.
Correct. So it's a matter of timing and how we frame the time dimension.
Titlate, right?
Correct. And I think the good thing about Binance is we have a super long-term view on the industry because we're here not to optimize for short-term profits or short-term gains, but we're here to really optimize for user happiness, right? And to really optimize for ecosystem growth.
Wow, cool. Another thing is that how do you predict future market conditions, and how do you think the industry will be changed in the near future?
I think one thing you learn is that in this industry, you don't try and predict what happens in the future. And the best way to be prepared for the future is to anticipate constant changes and constant disruption. Right? So internally, we like to believe that if we're going to be cannibalized, we want to be the first one to out-innovate ourselves. So I think there needs to be a culture of what we call being hardcore, which means you're always ready to solve tough problems. You're ready to face unforeseen challenges that come your way.
Okay. Lastly, could you please share Binance Apac's specific plan or strategy for the next year?
Honestly, our strategy is very simple, right? Not just Binance Apac, but globally, is to really drive up global crypto and blockchain adoption, right? So the way we see it is, how do we get the next 1 billion people into digital assets, right? And it's no secret that some of the world's largest population, right, and some of the world's most populous countries now, the top 2, right, are in Asia, right? So I think there's a lot for us to work with. That combined with the rising middle class group within the APAC region gives us a lot of hope that digital assets can be the new asset class that really helps people move up the asset ownership curve.
Let's wrap up our conversation. So Mr. Leon, thank you so much for your precious time. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Leon from Binance, head of direct of Apac. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you.